Hi.
Hi, this is Lee from Lee and the Sweet Life and Foodie Book Club. And somewhere you can't see is Lizzie, who's doing all the technical stuff. Lizzie from Peachy Digital, she's awesome. And this, oh my God, I know I'm always excited about her, but I cannot tell you how excited I am. This is Kaz Shaw, right? Now, I'm not even going to tell you about Kaz because she's like me, she can talk for England and she's the superstar of the aerobics world, I swear to God. And I saw her on Instagram. And if you want some real, Kaz is the lady. Okay, so Kaz, tell me all about you, what you do for a living, why you're doing what you're doing, and tell me the name of it, because I love the name of this.
Okay. Well, obviously, I get...
Hold on, the sound's gone. The sound's gone. What's going on with the sound?
Don't know. It's not.
You're back now.
We're back now. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good. Okay, it's live-ish. Okay, so tell us all about you.
Kaz. Caroline, but I get called Kaz. I'm a fitness instructor. Have been a fitness instructor for ages, over 20 years. Went into lockdown, and my lovely friend, I was teaching online. Am I supposed to be saying what I'm doing here?
Oh, no, we'll catch up with that in a minute. I mean, all the recipe for this is on leeandthesweetlife.com. You can find it all there. So from my point of view, I'd rather just see it and talk, and then we can catch up with the end of what you're doing.
Cool. So, in the beginning of lockdown, I was starting to do lessons online, obviously, because I could do my one-on-ones, but the classes we were doing online. And my lovely friend Nadia Sawalaha, as you might know her, guys, from
another real lady.
Real lady. She was telling me, she's saying, Kaz, I don't want to do like, all these really high intensity work. That's just not me. She goes, I just want some old fashioned aerobics. And I went, well, I can do that. And I mean, we're talking proper leotard, leg warmers, aerobics teacher. My God, over 25 years ago. So that was it. We decided to set up a little free classes, free as in FREE. And then we were trying to think of a name, and love dancing, and sorry, my phone keeps going. I love dancing, and 4 years ago I had a double mastectomy and reconstruction due to breast cancer. So my name on Instagram is Dance Yer T, and that is 3 times a week.
It's absolutely I mean, and the fact that I've listened to you having a chat with Nadia live, and the reason I keep going on about real women is because you and Nadia are an advocate for this. I mean, I love strong women of a certain age who just go, I don't want to swear, but it's right. This is who I am. I actually like myself quite like this. I don't have to be size 4. And I'm still bloody sexy. And you do that. When I hear you talking and when I watch you, that's who you are, isn't it?
And we're trying to, I've been very anti-diet culture all my life. I lost my mum, sadly, through it, actually. So I'm all for being fit and healthy, but I'm also anti-diet culture.
Yeah.
Her life. So I am all for moving and eating lovely food and cooking. And that's cooking is a real passion of mine. It was my mum's passion, my passion. And sadly, it's diminished so much over the years through the accessibility of processed food, really.
Yeah.
There's not that I'm against processed food, because there's always a place for all foods, but the actual art of cooking has really diminished. That's what I feel is really sad.
Yeah. And I think that's why another reason I love it, because Foodie Book Club is about so many things, but basically it's about getting people who are, you know, people to give us them emotional support and support small businesses, right? But we linked it with food because it's about opening your pantry, right? Do you remember the days in lockdown, there was no toilet paper, no flour, right? So basically I opened the pantry and said, okay, what can I cook? And that's what we're trying to get people back to. So that actually works out to be healthy eating, doesn't it?
I mean, it's not, but it's not, you know, people are fearful of using one set. I'm just going to find my certain products and certain food products, certain food ingredients, not a product. So like, oh my god, I can't cook with butter. Why can't you cook with butter?
Yeah.
Makes your food taste. So once I've made that butter isn't. I'm not going to butter. That spread amount. I make probably about 4 portions.
Yeah.
We become so scaremongered around what we're supposed to eat or not eat. So whereas no food is bad for you, there is just food that is more nutritionally dense. That's what
There's a story I tell people a lot when we're talking about butter. I used to make a few crazy cakes for a business, right? And some woman came in to me and said, oh, and can you teach me how to make buttercream? And I said, well, what do you do? She said, well, I get this margarine because my kids are organic and you know, and all that sort of thing. And I went, well, why are you using margarine? She said, because butter's bad for you. I said, margarine has got all of these E numbers in. Butter is just butter.
It's pure, delicious. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, exactly as you said, I can't swear. It's full of not nice. We don't need that.
I know. Tell me what's in your pan now.
Sweating down. Always wanted to say that. Red spring onions, celery. You don't have, a lot of people are a bit funny with celery. I've just putting some veg in, courgettes, peppers, but actually I'm going to add that in a bit later. So I've now put the risotto rice in. Now, a lot of people are really worried about risotto rice, but it is the best thing ever. It's got no flavour whatsoever. So that's why you need the flavour for the rice. So it's got butter and olive oil to start with. Sorry, that's what I put in first. Salt and pepper. And now what you do is you put the rice in and you just kind of let it absorb the butter and the olive oil. And then you'll get a little clear around the grain, a little clear image. And then you can start adding, I like a splash of wine. And then you turn it up, let the alcohol burn it off. And then we can start adding the stock, either vegetable or whatever stock you want, but vegetable or chicken is the one.
I'm just loving your kitchen, by the way. I do sort of like becoming a bit of a connoisseur of people's. Yes, get a straw in there.
It's not somewhere in the world.
Somewhere, just drink it. Listen, if you were out for brunch, you'd be having it, wouldn't you? So.
So I just turn the heat up, hear that, and then it's just going to burn the alcohol away. Just have the flavour of the wine. Not an obvious flavour, just quite a subtle flavour. And then really, with risotto, it is just sitting with it and just keep adding.
Yeah. Oh, more veg. While you're doing that, can I ask you questions about, if you don't mind, about when you had a mastectomy? What was it? This is a strange question, isn't it? Were you aware that there was something wrong before you were diagnosed?
I had a lump in my left breast.
Mm-hmm.
Bath time was always a good time to fill your actually fill any part of your body in a bath, because your skin, you've got soap and it's softer, and you can feel, we're not just talking your boobs, anywhere.
Yeah.
In the knee as well. You can feel everything. You can feel for lumps and bumps. It's one of the best places to feel. And I felt a lump there. And it was in December 2016. I was going to away for Christmas, not for Christmas, before Christmas. I was going to a friend's 50th over in Dubai, like you obviously over there for a party. And I kind of forgot about it. Came back, had Christmas, January, another bar. Obviously, I washed in between then, but another, and then all that last that checked out, and went to the GP mid-January, and then she said, "I don't think it's anything, but as you're 49, I will send you for a mammogram." So I said, okay, because normally at 50 you have the mammograms, but she said, we'll send you anyway. Sent me for the mammogram. On the day of the mammogram, I had an ultrasound and a biopsy. And a week later, they told me I had breast cancer.
What goes through your head? What goes through your head when somebody says that to you? Yeah.
What you think that's what you think is going to happen. I'm dying. Yes, I was with one of my lovely friends who's a nurse, and she was beside herself sobbing. And then my second thought was, how am I going to tell everybody? On earth am I going to tell my sister I'm really close to? What am I going to say? Tell somebody you've got cancer without them thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going to die.
The sound's gone again, Kaz. Just a very strange thing. You've gone like you're underneath, you're doing bubbles. Say something again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know why that works, but yeah. So the second thought was you needed to tell your sister and people you love. That's a tough one.
The other fear was of absolutely everybody reaction. That's what I was so frightened of, their reaction. I didn't want them to worry about me. You know what I mean? I was so scared. And actually speaking to a lot of, coming on Dance Yer Tits Off, I've made the most wonderful friends who have had breast cancer, and that everybody feels the same. You know, it's that same feeling of everybody's reaction. And me and my friends used to call it worried eyes. So you say, oh, people will ask you how you were, and they put their head to the side and they go, you know, it's that kind of, we as a patient, you always say, yeah, I'm fine, I'm doing fine, honestly, I'm fine, I feel a bit tired, I'm this and that, but you don't really want to say, actually, do you know what, I am petrified, I am so scared, you know, because how you are. I think everybody's, I know, you protect your loved ones, you know, from how you're feeling. You know what I mean, Lee?
The question I want to ask, right, is how did you cope with the fear of that? Because coping with the treatment, I'm guessing the doctor says you're going to do this, this, and this, and you sort of go to it. It's done to you, isn't it? This treatment is done to you, but then you're left with this fear.
I didn't cope, Lee. I had PTSD. I was terrible. I had horrific panic attacks, which were kicking in like bilio. I couldn't leave. I didn't want to leave the home. I didn't want to travel. I didn't want to go on a bus. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to go on a train. If I was in a car, I had to have the window open. I was petrified. I remember being in Zara, you know, the clothes shop. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but in a clothes shop. And I had two things in my arms, and I just literally put them down, and I had to walk out because I thought I was going to faint. I was going through the worst. I think, I don't know, that I was diagnosed with PTSD. I had some amazing treatment. I had some EMDR treatment, and then so ended up going on some anti-anxiety tablets. So that doesn't help with the post-cancer drugs that you're on, can make you feel really awful. So my energy levels were low. Oh, it was awful. And I'm a personal trainer, I'm a fitness instructor, I teach exercise, and my body was aching, I was exhausted, I was sweating beyond belief. And I was like, I cannot believe I'm going to live like this the next 10 years. So after having all the counselling, I was starting to feel better physically.
Yeah.
So enough that I've got an amazing oncologist, and the oncologist, I went back, I changed my medication once, and then I went back, and after 2.5 years, and I said, I can't do this. This is on the second lot of medication, tamoxifen. And he said, right, well, let's take you off it. He put all my stats into the computer, and over a 10-year period, I being on tamoxifen, my body, I would have only benefited from it by 8%. 13%, I would have died of other causes, and I cycle there, so I'm always having run-ins with drivers, you know, so I'm more likely to go by that than I am of being feeling absolutely dreadful for the next 8.5 years. And my motto is as well, Lee, I want to thrive, I don't want to survive. And I've been off it now for about a year and a half, just over a year and a half now, and yeah, I feel so much better.
Good. And how long did that level of fear, how long did it take for that level of fear to equalize out?
The bit coming back never goes, actually.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Ever. Never goes. You're always, you know, you get a little lump or bump, or you get a headache and you think, I've got a brain tumour, or, you know, you get your back. Secondary breast cancer generally goes into the bones and the lungs. So, you know, you can have a cough, which I had a cough last year. I was running with a client, coughing. And I thought, that's it, I've got lung cancer. And actually I had COVID and didn't even know.
Oops.
So, super spreader. I was out tea. I mean, I shouldn't laugh about it because I didn't even think that this is in the February.
Yeah.
The beginning of March. Obviously, we didn't know anything much about lockdown. So, you know, God, I'm all right. And I know the people, nobody I taught got it. Thank God. I would have felt awful. But yeah, so the fear never goes away, Lee. You know, the fear never, ever goes away.
So what would you say to those people who don't like to touch their breasts or their back or their bits, or, you know, because it's embarrassing, or they don't want to go and see a doctor, or it's, you know.
Yeah. They're crazy, you know, because it saved my life. It absolutely, because, you know, I felt it in December, I went in the January, and I had one lump, that was the one I felt, and then there was 2 tiny other little ones, and I had pre-cancer cells. So I was lucky enough that my cancer was just contained in that breast. I had to have 2, 3, 4 lymph nodes out, hadn't spread to my lymph nodes. I didn't need chemotherapy or radiotherapy. I just needed the double mastectomy. Well, the mastectomy, I chose a double mastectomy, and reconstruction I was lucky enough to have that. And I'm still here. You know, if I'd left that, that's the thing, Lee, if I had left that, if that had spread, because I had pre-cancer cells sort of around there, if that, you know.
I know, it's interesting, isn't it? It's like women who go, I don't want to go for a smear because it's embarrassing. You go, what?
It's just like, yeah, nobody likes it. None of us feel it, but it's seconds over. You'd normally 99% of the time have a female nurse. It literally, isn't it? As we know, Leah, you know, it takes seconds. It's not the most comfortable, but it's done. And then it's done, and it's over. And they've seen one, they've seen them all.
Hey, I'm saying nothing. I'm saying mine might be different. You never know.
As well, you know, it's and also with men as well, you know, with, you know, making sure their bits are all safe as well. I mean, of course, I've got my friend's son who's 23. He found a lump, from, you know, feeling his testicles basically, and saved his own life from doing that. And you just think that is so important.
I think the statistics for men's testicular cancer and prostate cancer have gone through the roof, haven't they? I think
higher than breast cancer, Lee, but that's because men don't talk about it enough or do about it. They're embarrassed, and
I'm hoping that with all the pandemic and things like that, I'm hoping that's made people a little bit braver to talk about their health issues.
I'm thinking that, Lee. I'm hoping that people will be a bit more body conscious as such, a bit more aware of their health, really.
I know. Right.
Being fit, and not just physically but mentally. I mean, my motto is move for the mind, body to follow. I mean, exercise has saved my life. It saved me through the grief of and it saved me through my cancer treatment. It's just a one. The problem is with exercise, Lee, the general problem is the fact that people exercise generally for weight loss. Okay, so they'll it's like going on a diet. But I lose weight. What's the best diet to lose weight?
I hate all that. I hate going on a diet. It's like New Year's resolutions, isn't it? You know, I'm going to make a resolution to lose 10 stone this year, and you go, you didn't put on 10 stone in a year. Why would you lose 10 stone in a year?
Why do you need to do that?
Yeah.
It's the same for somebody saying, well, I want to get really fit. Like, personal trainer, I go, okay, you get really fit. What sort of things do you like to do? I don't know, you tell me. Well, I don't know what you like. I love running.
Yeah.
Okay. I love spin, I love sea swimming, I love weight training. And they're like, oh, I don't really like any of those. Exactly. So I always try things out, and also work into your lifestyle as well. So if you've got a really busy life and you're like, well, how am I going to fit that in? How am I going to go to a class? So it's online, you know, that is where you can fit 20 minutes in, a 20-minute workout quickly.
Yeah.
You can anything, whether it's yoga. I mean, I'm not a yogi at all. That's not my bag. Whether you're a yogi, I mean, I teach Pilates. That's another one I teach. Don't really like it, but
it's on your CV, isn't it, Kaz?
The reason why I did that is because I was thinking I can't teach circuits anymore. This was literally a year after breast feeling so dreadful. I haven't got the energy for, you know, because I like to join in a bit, and you know, and I thought, well, I'll learn Pilates. I'll do a Pilates course, train to be a Pilates teacher, because then that'll, you know, help me slow down. And I was like, what am I doing? I don't like this. I want to be a Pilates teacher. What I have noticed with doing Pilates, it really does help with strength. And I do it with my old ladies. I go into a residential home. Well, obviously I haven't been able to do that for a while, but
yeah.
So we do strength and balance, and so yeah, you've got to find what works for you. You know, you've got to find, you know, you love spin, you teach spin, brilliant, works for you. You fit it in, brilliant. That's the people who do exercise, who think they need to either join a gym or join a class. They can just go for a walk. Do you know what I mean? I'm not telling you to go and you're going to do 20 press ups, you're going to do 40 million burpees, you do 100 squats.
Did you have you seen that new statistic about standing on one leg in dementia?
Yeah. Well, that is actually quite an old stat, that is.
Yeah. It's newly regurgitated, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, all the time. So I get my old ladies, so they have to hold on to the back of the chair. They have to stand on one leg.
Oh, you've gone.
Sorry. Are you back?
I'm back. Yeah.
That was Titty Gritty, actually, you know, from Instagram, who's a brilliant breast cancer advocate.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think what was it getting sidetracked? So exercise. That is another thing for me as well, Lee, is I'm so fearful of my body disabling me.
Yeah.
I saw what happened to my mum, unnecessarily, unnecessarily disabled, and I don't want to be like that.
Yeah, no, I get it. Right, I guess we should look at what's in your saucepan now, because I've watched you've added the wine. That's what we got up to. You added the wine, you've been adding stock, you've added Parmesan cheese, you've added some salt.
Pepper. With risotto, you can literally put anything in it. You can put meat or fish, veggies. I generally do I don't really know. I will normally always do a veggie one, really. Like a veggie with, well, I put feta. I love feta.
Yeah.
And obviously Parmesan. And then the peas, I always put in the last minute, because if you put it in now, they go grey and then they look disgusting. So before you get that little nutty taste, they're going to be al dente, really.
Yeah.
And the feta in, and then I put some mint in, and then I sprinkle some mint on top. And that really is, it's all about flavour with risotto. As I said before, there's just empty little things with no flavour. So you've got to add the flavour.
See, I think I can say this every time. I'm just not a rice. I just don't like it. It's just.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's one of my favourites. Do you like pasta?
No.
Oh.
I know.
Well, you got to like what you like.
I know. But having said that, I mean, you give me a giant bowl of salad and I will eat it forever. That's my favourite that's what I order in restaurants, went out with Lizzie. Yeah. Went out with Lizzie the other month. She's ordering some wonderful burger thing and I'm ordering a salad.
Is that just because you like it?
Yeah, just because I like it.
Okay. Healthy. I'm only eating this for the next.
Oh my God.
Love it. It's a real go-to. My mum was always, my mum and I were on our own when I was a child, and that's so it's cost effective, guys. That's another thing. So I work in the community, and I've worked with lots of projects that are helping families, how should we say, learn how to cook on a very low level. So we want them to eat nutritionally, but also cost effective as well. So the risotto rice, I think this say was £3. You've got vegetables. I get done.
Hey, excuse me, that's my dog. Oh, come on.
And then literally add whatever you want, and this would feed a family of 5, and that's a really, we try and do things for under £5 for families, and it's just a really cost effective. It's got vegetables in it, it's got protein in it, just really nutritious. And
I'm doing some work with some food banks for that sort of thing. Look, the boxes they get, and it's literally, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Getting as much as you possibly can from whatever.
See, we've got, I don't know about you guys where you are, we call the Real Junk Food Project.
Okay.
It is amazing. They're in community halls in Brighton. There's about 5 of them, and it's all that's left over from shops.
Yeah.
Supposedly out of date, but not really out of date. It is out of date, but they can't sell it, and then delicious meals out of it. Absolutely delicious, and it's free, or you can make a donation. So it is unbelievable. And they've now just opened up a cafe in Brighton, and it's the donation based. You can go there, have for what.
I think the biggest tip I would give to anybody who's cooking on a budget, right, is get to know that there's a difference between the sell by date and a use by date.
Lily.
You know, that's why if you know when I mean I feel like I'm hitting a lucky day if I go to the supermarket and they're just putting out, you know, they're changing the labels on the meat, and I go, yeah, that's for the freezer, because people see it sell by as that, well, I can't eat it, and you go, no, that's not the same as used by.
It's a fear. I've got sour cream here.
Ooh.
Opened, and it's the 17th of May. What are we today? The 21st. But I'm going to open it because I pour it. I have a little stir in. I smell it. Absolutely fine.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I think. I mean, was my mum especially loved Terry Wogan, and the joke that he used to have on his program was, apart from the sprout one, putting the sprouts on in October for Christmas, that was always the big joke, wasn't it? But it was also the thing, like, you know, I've just looked at the back of the cupboard and there's a jar of beans that have been in there since 1924. Can I eat it?
True. Always, I am never. Oh my gosh, I'm always really. I don't look at the sell by or the. Well, I do when I'm buying if I can for long term. But I like that's 17th of May. But I wouldn't. Some people would throw that away.
How's that? Does it look, tastes good? Oh God.
Mm.
Stop it now. Stop it. Sorry?
Mm. It's still a bit nutty, so I'm just going to put a little bit more.
Nice.
I'm not very good at measuring.
Yeah, but that's a cook, isn't it? I mean, I'm a cook, and Lizzie's a cook. You cook with your mind, and you know, we're not looking at. Most people don't cook by ounces. It's like what tastes good, and also everything tastes different to everybody else. So one person might want more salt, one person might, you know.
And it's a real preference.
It's the wine, isn't it?
But yeah, it's not easy. I love, my sister's a real recipe follower, so she will say to me, she'll ask me, and I say, oh, I don't know, I just put that in, and she'll eat something I've made, say, she goes, oh, I love that, what did you do? And I go, well, I've put that in, well, how much? I don't know, I just kind of, you know.
Oh yeah, but that's I mean, that's but then again, for my other thing, because I develop recipes for people, so I have to sort of measure. So I go from my own thing for, like, you know, cooking at home, going a dash of this, to the obsessive, like I'm having to make it 3 times and measure it 3 times and all that sort of thing. It's I just remember this story from my childhood. My dad's Croatian, and he was in the concentration camps. And one of the things that I remember growing up with, but not wasting food, which is my thing, is him getting a piece of cheese from the fridge and cutting off the bits, the green bits around the edges.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
the bread being like that. My mum having mouldy bread, and mum just cut off the bits of mould and then just toast it.
Yeah, I mean, nobody would. Somebody out there is going to be watching this and actually they're going to write in, aren't they? You know.
Look, we haven't died, have we, Lee? Come on.
Exactly. Is that more parmesan you're going in there?
It's just getting to the creamy texture now. So I put it on a really low heat. It's just there's nutty, and then there's the crunchy. So you want to like, and again, like you said, Lee, it's very personal preference. Some people like it mushy. I like a little bit of an al dente. And I've stirred some feta in there that makes it look quite creamy, as you can see. I think you can see that.
Yeah, it's actually brilliant. Am I right in thinking, I mean, you said that, but you said you volunteer at a residential home. Am I right in thinking you also do something in a hospital as well? Say that again, Kaz.
It's a dog intervention.
I know.
Clinic at the Children's Hospital for weight management for special needs. And that is very, very, very complex. These are going in there, guys.
Oh, nice.
It's very complex. We have children with lots of additional needs, from autism to Down syndrome to cerebral palsy. And a lot of the time, especially with children with autism or ADHD or Asperger's, their diet can be very limited. So we help the parents and carers how to basically just help them. I can show them how to make their child maybe do some exercise or just movement. And then we work with a dietitian. We've got a pediatrician. It's a clinical clinic. It's clinical. So we've got the pediatrician too. Yeah, I love it. I've been there 15 years now.
Really?
We're thinking of expanding it. I mean, through lockdown, it's just, we've got a year's waiting list now.
Oh gosh, it's crazy. It's crazy. What made you get into the, I mean, apart from obviously you're online, you talk about lockdown, but how long did you say you'd been a fitness trainer?
I wanted to be a PE teacher, Lee, and I couldn't get my maths O level, and you have to have maths O level to be a PE.
What is that about? What is that about, you know?
PE teacher, obviously, if I was going to be a maths teacher, that's probably quite important. But you need English and maths. Got English, tried maths 3 times, couldn't get it, couldn't train to be a PE teacher. And then I travelled a lot in my 20s, lived abroad. And then I was working in an office, and I had this female boss. I was her PA. I was useless. Honestly, I was absolutely dreadful. We used to laugh. I just used to talk about, I used to like shopping and clothes and exercise, really. When she said to me, Caroline, what are you doing in this environment? It doesn't suit your personality. I mean, this is crazy. And I just said, well, I've always wanted to be a PE teacher. She goes, why don't you become a gym instructor? You're always there. And I'm like, that had never crossed my mind. And from that day, I went to gym instructor. I was in the gym for 7 years, and then personal trainer, and then it's just escalated. And I absolutely love what I do. Love it.
Is there ever a morning you get up and you go, oh, right, okay?
Never. No. And when I've got to get on my bike, I've got to cycle to a class, and it's horrific wind and rain. No, I honestly, that is honest truth, Lee. And when I was, my mum died unhappy, and my thing is, I don't never want to die unhappy. If I die, I want to know that I've had a lovely life and I've died happy, if that makes sense.
It makes absolutely sense. I sort of empathize with you there. I had oh gosh, I shouldn't say this, but my sisters never watch this. One of the memories I have of my mom is that she always regretted her life, and just, you know, not doing. She was very smart, and she worked full time, you know, with four kids. But she wanted to do other things, but it just wasn't in her nature to think she could do that. So she had that, yeah.
And that, I think a lot of people are like that. I've got a lot of friends like that. But then on the flip side of that, though, Lee, I didn't have children. I couldn't have kids. So in a way, I've got lots of lovely godchildren and 2 nephews. I've had more opportunity to do what I want to do. Does that make sense? I haven't had that that being a parent is a job. So I haven't had it. So I was able to be able to train or to do something new or learn something new or travel more. So I'm lucky in that sense. But I'm really lucky.
It's listening to you is such a positive thing. I can see why you are such a role model for so many women. It's true, no matter what the age. I'm a bit, like I say, I'm a bit of a stalker on Instagram. I sort of watch lots of people, and but listening to you like that, talk about what you've been up to, is really empowering, actually. But in the honesty that you have, what makes you be so honest about what you're doing and how you're feeling, and able to go online and just say, look, I mean, you were talking about menopause the other week, and I was listening in with Nadia, and the honesty, people were asking you questions, and you were just saying, bugger it, don't do that, don't, you were just telling them how it was and how real it is.
I mean, I've never been scared to speak my mind. Sometimes it's got me into trouble. I've never been scared to And my theory is I like to have people I can relate to. So I just want to be relatable. I think Instagram can be a very difficult platform for the younger generation. My age, I'm 53. My age group, there's hardly anybody my age on there, really.
Yeah.
I just think you just gotta, I don't know, don't know what it is. My mum brought me up to be really strong. Just brought me up to not take any, you know.
Do you think the younger generation, I mean, you mentioned it there on Instagram, and there's such a lot of shite out there for, you know, sorry, Lizzie, I can see that, shush, for young girls. I mean, you know, the expectations, and, you know, I have this thing about, I'm sure they're really nice people, but the Kardashians as the epitome of something that young girls want to be like, or who they want to be, but they have no ambition to do anything in the skill wise. And there was a survey done a little while ago. People want, you know, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to be famous, but what are you going to do to do that? Well, no, I don't know. I just want to be famous. There's no, you know, there's such a lot of pressure now.
I hate it, Leah, I hate it. And I've got two of my goddaughters on Instagram. They're artists. One's textiles and the other one is literally painting artist. And I was talking to one of them the other day and I just said, how does Instagram make you feel? And she said, well, really insecure at times. And I'm like, why are you comparing yourself? That's the thing. I'm totally honest, no filters, nothing, especially no verbal filters or no physical filters. And I think that's what people relate to. Like when the younger generation and they're looking at other people on Instagram and they're like putting it in, and then they've been filtered in, and then they've got, you know, everything's sucked in, and then they're living off a fruit juice a day and thinking, oh my God, I've got to do that because I'm going to look like that. And then it's not real life. They're not happy.
It's just, I mean, I'm even older than you. I mean, you know, you're a whippersnapper in my eyes, young lady. But it is interesting what's out there. And you're right, people of our age aren't out there unless they're advertising some face cream that they've and have everything lifted for, you know what I mean? And then they go, oh, look what I've done. I've used this cream. And you go, no, that's all filler, you know.
And then and that's the thing, you've got to own it, you've got to be real, and I see so many people change on Instagram as well. So I follow, if a few sort of a younger say young mums, and then suddenly you can see they're changing to think what their audience wants them to say. And I'm like, why are you being like that? You don't need to be like that. If you're finding being a parent today, yeah, because then other mums can relate to it. If breastfeeding is an absolute nightmare, say your breastfeeding's a nightmare. You don't have to breastfeed. And it's that comparison. I don't know how that's ever going to change.
Well, it's all for followers now, isn't it? You know, followers and sponsorship, and it is actually a new industry. You know, you can go on, you can have a class to teach you how to be a star on Instagram. You know, and all this, and it's just.
Oh, I didn't know that. I might try it.
So that is it finished now? Is that ready to eat? Is it? Oh God, that's good. Will you take a picture of that and send that to me?
I would literally put that on the table and say dive in. Do you know what I mean? They're like lovely hunks of bread, or not if you don't want to. Lovely green salad.
Will you take a picture of that and send that to me, and I'll get that on with the recipe. And you know what? I just want to thank you. That's my dog who's chasing the cat around. Normally I'm somewhere else. Hey, shush, shush, shush. Yeah. And do you know what? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kaz, for doing that. Let me just get her up here. Up. Come on up. Can you see her? There she is.
I can't.
You can't see her. All right. Anyway. Thank you so much, Kaz. It's all going to be on leeandthesweetlife.com. And can I speak to you again? And just because you and I need to do a recipe book with this, I think.
I'd love it. I'd love to do.
Be good, wouldn't it? All right. Say goodbye and thank you. This will be up and Oh, I just want to talk to you for hours. I'm going to talk to you later though.
Thank you, my
Bye,
love.
Jazz. Thank you so much. Let's
You know,
see.